Couple weeks, we got an announcement from Randan Steinhauser that she's going to be running for the RNC committee woman position that's currently been held now for quite some time by Tony Ann DeShiel here in Texas. We invited Tony Ann DeShiel to join us on the program. We'll let you know if she responds. But right now we have Randan Steinhauser. Randan, thank you so much for joining. And for folks who maybe have not seen you before, not heard of you before, give folks a little bit of an idea of your background and why you're running for this position.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me on. And I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about why I am excited to be the next RNC committee woman for Texas. I was approached about this opportunity several months ago and have given it a lot of thought and prayer and consideration. And I'm excited now to tell you that the enthusiasm for my campaign continues to grow. So I've been home in Texas now for 12 years. I'm a mother of four, a homeschooling mother of four, and a small business owner. I've been involved in conservative politics and public policy for since I was a college student, actually. And I've been really passionate about fighting for educational freedom, healthcare freedom, limited government, personal responsibility, fiscal responsibility, and just feel like we have a real obligation to have a very strong Christian conservative convicted voice on the RNC to represent Texas, to stand up for our values, and to be unafraid to hold Republicans accountable when they stand in the way of conservative public policy, and be unafraid to call out the radical progressive left when they are indoctrinating our children and taking over every institution that has made America great.
And what are you seeing right now are the biggest obstacles inside the RNC? I mean, we talk a lot about Texas politics and what happens in the Republican Party of Texas. I think some folks might be not as familiar with what happens at a national level. What are the biggest obstacles right now that you're seeing?
You know, one of the things I'm telling people is that Texas has an opportunity to elect one man and one woman to send to the RNC. And it is our job as conservative grassroots activists to show up to convention to say, when we send a representative from Texas to the RNC, we expect that they will be an advocate for the grassroots, that they will respond to the needs of those who are most active in the Republican Party. And that includes everything from candidate recruitment, supporting down ballot candidates from the most, highly sought offices of U.S. Senate and U.S. Congress, but also school board, county commissioners. We have got to improve our data infrastructure, and that starts at the top and goes all the way to the bottom to make sure that we have strong voter infrastructure to know who our voters are so that we can communicate with them. It also goes back to election integrity, making sure that our elections are secure and safe and reliable. So I think there are a number of issues that we can be strong voices for at the national level to represent the will and the desire of the grassroots Republicans, who are really the tip of the spear when it comes to keeping Texas, Texas.
The last time the RNC was in the news, there was a big fight over the leadership. Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel was reelected, but had some challengers from the right. What are your thoughts on Chairwoman McDaniel?
I think anytime you have multiple people running for an office is a great opportunity for folks to be very open and honest and transparent about where they stand. I am always in support of folks challenging someone who's been in office for too long, which is part of the reason I've stepped up myself to serve on the RNC. I think that when we have a unanimous resolution coming out of the SREC, which I have served on, I served on the SREC a few years ago, and I can tell you, it's very rare for the SREC to agree on anything unanimously. But not only did the SREC unanimously vote to support Harmeet Dillon, there was also thousands of grassroots activists who contacted our RNC committee man and committee woman and wanted their voice to be heard as well. So I think that we, in terms of our leadership on the RNC, had a real opportunity to show the grassroots we are listening, we respect your voice, and we want to be a representative of the party. And the party is really only as strong as our grassroots activists. And I think this was a missed opportunity to show our grassroots that we support them. And if given the opportunity for that vote, I would have supported Harmeet Dillon.
And let me ask you, because you've been involved in all sorts of policy, but one of those policies that you've been closely tied to has been school choice. We just got done speaking with Chairman Matt Rinaldi about school choice being on a future special session call. What do you think right now is the biggest obstacles to getting this passed in a Republican-controlled legislature in Texas?
It's the same problem we see with other conservative public policies from getting passed, whether it's robust border security or out of control spending, as we've seen the largest budget increase in Texas history. So I would say that we have a lot of folks in the Texas House who simply put an R beside their name because they know that that is what it's going to take to get elected. For them, that R does not stand for a lot. And for us conservatives, we know that the party is a vehicle for the ideas, the conservative limited government principles that we hold true. And so we do have a lot of members in the Texas House who continue to stand in the way of our conservative public policy priorities from getting passed. Educational freedom absolutely being one of them. As you mentioned, I've been advocating as both a grassroots activist and a mother for several years, going on over a decade now here in Texas. And it's been a little bit too little too late. And I think it's far beyond time that Texas catches up with the rest of the nation in empowering parents with educational freedom instead of being beholden to a government indoctrination system.
So the vote for RNC committee woman will take place with delegates to the Republican Party of Texas next summer. What can folks do who want to follow your campaign or get involved?
Well, I would love your support. So visit randanforrnc.com. You can find me on social media at Randan Marie on Twitter. Get in touch with me. I would love to plug you into my campaign. I'm going to be traveling across the state, speaking to many grassroots groups. I'd love to come to your area. I'll usually have a kid or two in tow, so be prepared for that. We travel as a pack, and I'd love to earn your support, earn your trust, and most importantly, to be a voice for the Christian conservative grassroots leaders of our state. So randanforrnc.com.
Randan, thank you so much.